What is going on? Kevin from Stingray Biology here. For those of you who are new to the channel, thank you for finding your way to us. Center for Stingray Biology is the largest freshwater stingray breeding facility in the United States. We breed. This organization was originally founded by Dr. Richard Ross, who is, I would say, the godfather of stingrays. He wrote some of the first books on stingrays, and he helped to catalog all the different stingray species. So thank you, Richard Ross. We breed all types of stingrays here, from black diamonds, P14s, Boesemanis, albino rays, hybrid rays, designer hybrid rays, all kinds of stuff. We do a lot of exciting stuff here. Thank you guys for finding the channel and joining us. For those of you who are interested in purchasing stingrays from us, feel free to email us or send me a message through YouTube or in the comments below. Call us. You know, you can find us through our website, stingraybiology.com. Today we are going to talk about a fairly new species to the stingray hobby, and that is the Boesemani. This is a very special fish to me because I do have the albino Boesemani, which was also wild caught. But I'm going to talk a little bit today about how the Boesemani came to be into the stingray market and what was our role in getting this particular stingray into the hobby. And I also wanted to talk about the behaviors of this ray. It's very interesting. This particular ray is somewhat different from the other rays in terms of their behavior, sensitivity. Let me show you real quick what we're talking about here. That is an albino, that is a Boesemani stingray. There's more right here. They are a very beautiful and pretty species. One of the unique features or characteristics about this ray is they are one of the few rays that actually get better and better with age. Okay, many stingrays, how can I explain this? Many stingrays, as they get older, their patterns change, their spots break up or space out. They tend not to look as nice as when they were younger. But Boesemani is one of those rays that just get better and better and better and better. I've never really seen a Boesemani get worse. Even at a prime old age, you know, these guys are probably 6 years old, 7 years old, maybe more. And they have just been getting more and more beautiful, right? But one of the things about these stingrays is they are very aggressive, okay? Unlike other stingrays, you see, they like to bite each other. See, I'm in front of the tank now and they think it's feeding time and they're gonna start biting each other. Whereas some of the other rays, other species, when they see me come near the tank, they might all huddle up. See, here we go. Let me see. Well, they fed already. But what they do is they huddle up and they think it's feeding time and they wait to be fed. But with the Boesemanis, they are very aggressive. And I would even say they're like the PITBULL of stingrays. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to feed them and show you their aggressive nature when I throw in food. They actually don't go for the food, they go after each other and try to like beat up each other and chase them away and then come back to eat the food. It's very interesting behavior. So let me go grab some shrimp that I prepared and let's see if they will show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so I've got this tray of shrimp here, and what I'll do is, see, typically I gotta spread them out. I'm gonna drop some right there. There they go. And here they come. I'm going to drop more in there. Look at that. They just pounce. The shrimp is falling. They don't know it's there yet. But once they sense it, watch. Here they come. Give it a second. Okay, well, they seem to be getting along today and just going for the food, but let me dump a little bit more on this side. Here we go. You see what he's doing? You see he's biting off the black diamond? And then what is he going to do here? Look. We can definitely see this guy's quite aggressive in chasing off other people. Look, here he goes again, right there. That fish just chased off this one here to get to the food. Alright, now they seem to be cleaning it up, so I'm going to dump a little bit more and see if I can trigger their aggressive behavior. Alright, here comes the shrimp. Let's see. There they go. See, look, he's biting that one right there now. See? It's truly amazing why they would do that instead of going for the food. You would think their instinct is to go for the food, but their instinct is to chase off each other. You can see this was a wild caught one. Actually, they're all wild caught. I don't know if you can see he's missing an eye on the left side. Oh, my hand's a little bit dirty from grabbing the shrimp. But now we're gonna walk around to the other side and feed the albino Boesemani, and I'll show you her feeding behavior as well as a couple of the other males on that side. So come on, let's go. Before we get to the other side, let me dump some shrimp over here and then see if you can see the difference in the way these black diamonds eat as compared to the Boesemanis. You see with the black rays, they just go right for the food. They get along. Nobody nips at anybody. They just find their food and they eat their food. They don't have that pouncing behavior. It's very, very different. Very mellow, these rays, compared to the Boesemanis. But anyway, let's head on over to the other side. Alright, here we are. There she is. She sees me already. And look, these guys, they see me and they're all waiting right here. I'm gonna drop some shrimp over here. There it goes. And it's probably gonna take them a second to realize that I dropped it over here, but once they do, you will see that reaction. Come on, here we go. They have a sense of smell also, so as the current is blowing through the water, they're gonna smell it and they're gonna start turning towards the shrimp. Here it comes, see? And then, watch, she's gonna pounce. There we go, see, look at that. Just chased off the male and taking the food all for herself. Now let's see what this male is gonna do. He's coming around from behind. And let's see if he goes for some shrimp. Where there's some shrimp right there. Yep, okay, so he's found his way to the shrimp. But here, these two guys are the ones that inspired me to make this video. They're so aggressive that they bite each other and they start twirling around. Now, I don't know if I'm able to get them to do it today, but let's try. Let's see. There we go. Look at that. It's crazy behavior. Just chasing each other off. And then attacking the food. Now let's see, this guy's gonna come. And he jumps on the food as well. Okay, come on. It's not like I'm trying to trigger them to fight each other, but I just want to get it on film to show you guys. Now, they didn't quite do what I was expecting them to do. I do have other footage of it, but let's see if we can trigger it. But regardless, you can see the difference in their movements compared to the black diamonds that I just showed you. Very aggressive. Attacking the food, attacking each other. Unbelievable. Meanwhile, I think over here, they're done. So I'm going to drop a little bit more for them. We want to get her nice and fat. Come on, girl. I know you didn't get enough. There we go. Come on. You feel it? Oh. Maybe that was enough for her. Alright. Okay, here we go. See? Alright. She's going to take her time. Okay, so now let's head on over here where I still have more Boesemanis, and these also show a very aggressive behavior. There she is. Now watch. Once I open up the cover, she's already gonna go nuts. Here's some shrimp. Alright, let's see from down here if we can see them better. See, look at that. She's biting the other guy off. She's gonna chase him away. Not let him eat. Okay, let me grab some more food. Dump some more in there. And then look, they come back. See how quickly she comes back? So it's very fun. I think it's very entertaining to feed these guys and watch how they behave, right? Pretty cool. So anyways, let me go rinse off my hands, and then we'll get back to talking more about the history of these rays. This is the other footage I was telling you about. Here are two males. They're locked into each other, swirling around, fighting each other off for the food. How crazy is this? Okay, I'm back. So let's talk about these Boesemanis and how they came to be in the stingray trade. I believe this stingray was first discovered maybe about like 10-12 years ago, maybe a few years more than that, but it wasn't readily or steadily being imported or exported out of Suriname. Okay, these rays are from Suriname. Now, Suriname was not a very developed country in terms of the aquarium trade, which is what made it difficult to get these animals. Now, they did trickle in here and there, you know, just like a few every few years, but it wasn't anything consistent, right? So I wanted to get my hands on these rays, and it was something that I wanted to start breeding. And I sought out west from Rare Fish, and we also sought out somebody in Suriname who knew the area and was in the ecotourism business, and we made a three-way venture here to get these animals, right? So it all started with just as a collecting trip to get a breeding group for myself, and then from there word got out that we were able to get these fish, and we were able to get them in good quality and good health. So just more and more people just started asking about it, and from there we just started bringing in more and more, and basically from there we kind of opened up Suriname to the aquarium trade or stingray trade, right? That's not to say that there weren't a few exporters there. There were, but it wasn't on any grand scale. The difficulty about getting this is because there is no established trade there, the logistics of it is very difficult. We really have to invest a lot of money to get the right people to go catch the fish, to properly hold the fish, keep them alive and healthy, transport it back from the jungle to the main city, and then get the export paperwork done and get it back to the US. And with the teamwork of the three of us, we managed to do that quite well, and we did it very consistently, and it just blew up from there. And then that's basically the history of how this fish came to be in the stingray trade. Now, that was a little history lesson as to where these fish came from. So now let's talk about the stingrays itself a little bit more, and the breeding of it and the pups. Okay, as I said earlier, these are rays that actually get better and better with time. I'm going to show you now all the different pups that I have in different stages of development, and you can see how it changes and improves you know, over time. So let's go take a look. First, let's start with the pups, all right? Now, these aren't quite newborn. They're a few weeks old, but more or less, it hasn't changed much yet. It hasn't changed much yet, so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. So let's take a look over here. These are pretty much the youngest ones I have at this moment. They're brown with kind of like a, how's that? Like a mosaic or shell-like pattern. Now, you see nips on their disc. Even at such a young age, they do tend to be aggressive against each other. Every time I dump in food, all they do is just bite each other, right? And then afterwards they eat. So these are rays that I think need a little bit more space, because when they're tight like that and they start nipping, there's no room for them to run, so they get kind of chewed up a little bit. All right, so now let's move on to over here, this other basket here, which are slightly older. Okay, so you see they're bigger. Not much change in the pattern yet, right? I would say these are about an inch bigger. And then we will move on to some more grow outs. All right, let's take a look at these guys over here. Here are some that are a bit older. You can see their pattern is starting to get a little bit more pronounced, right? You start to see the white spot develop a little bit better. It's getting there, it's getting there. Now, let me jump over to this side. And then you see the difference. It's starting to develop way more. Much nicer pattern. Oh, they all spooked because I never come up here like this. Right here. Alright. Look at that. Pretty cool, right? Especially that one. Now, let's move on to the tank I have down here, which are even older. There we go. See that pattern? Nicer and nicer. It's kind of dark, but let's try to show you the best I can. These guys are a bit older. You can see the pattern developing very nicely. The spots getting bigger and bigger. You got like a brown mosaic pattern in between the white spots. That black marking will turn into black rings as they get older, with like anywhere from a white to creamy center, and maybe even all the way turning into an orange. But from that juvenile pattern to this, you can see how it's getting better and better. So it makes it a very interesting fish to grow. It never gets boring to watch this fish grow. And it's one of my favorites, really one of my all-time favorites. I have a couple of even older ones over here. See that? Oops, they're just getting spooked. There's another one back there, coming forward. Pretty nice, right? There we go. Okay, so let me show you. I think I had two more back here that were growing out. They were down here. There they are. And one back there against the back wall. I don't know if we can get a focus on him. But basically from there, they just keep developing. There we go, he's coming forward. Nice. There we go, that's a good focus. Okay, so from that, I don't have anything that's in between, but expect them to, over time, the pattern starts to become more defined, and they have this like very random spotting, big spots, small spots, big rings, orange center to like a beige center to even a white center. I don't know if I have the white one in here. I think the whitest center one is right there. Pretty cool, right? As you can see, I really love these fish. I have a whole collection of all various stages. I like to see the way they develop. That way, I know from experience what these fish will become as they get older. And that way, when you guys have any questions, I can answer it from actual experience, right? So thank you guys again for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode. And I will be doing more of these species profiles for those of you who want to learn more about each individual type of species, right? So thank you guys again for watching, and stay tuned.